Welcome to On the Chain. Chip here. Jeff is away today. Yes, we are live. And tonight, this video, we're going to get into a couple of different things. First of all, Australia's largest convenience store accepting XRP. I'm going to talk a little bit about that. Is Gary Gensler, is he not? Is he or is he not an attorney? Gensler, an attorney? Don't know. And we're going to get into something really special. XRP profits, buys big dreams. We're talking massive dreams, something really huge. It's going to be exciting. We'll get into it. You guys ready to go? Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
Welcome, everybody. So let's jump right into the stories for the evening. And the first one comes from none other than Jimmy the K. Filan. That's right, James Filan from at Filan Law. This is pretty good. So he was tweeting about this story here. Hang on, so let's jump on this one here first. So Judge Netburn has ordered the SEC to submit its proposed redactions to the court for in-camera review no later than April 8th. And if we think about it, today's the April 5th or the 6th, depending on when you're watching this, a couple days from now. And so Netburn's like, yeah, okay, you got to submit your proposed redactions. So what's going to end up happening here is the judge is going to figure out, based on whatever the SEC proposes, like these are our redactions. And if the redactions look anything like some other things we've seen out of the SEC, you see giant black bars everywhere. So they got to decide what do they really want to redact? And quite honestly, what is there to redact? What are they going to redact that's so damn mysterious, or they just can't have anybody see? I'm guessing it's probably names that might incriminate somebody, but exactly not so easy or hard to understand. And so that's what this looks like right here. It's pretty simple. The court reviewed the SEC's letter requesting to leave redacted portions of 4 sets of handwritten notes by the SEC staff. The SEC is ordered to submit its proposed redactions for the in-camera review. Now, the funny thing about this thing is this is handwritten notes. And I mean, when I write handwritten notes, I keep a notebook next to my desk at all times. Mine, yeah, you write all over the place. So I can almost imagine what this redaction might look like. It might look like some sort of modern piece of art, something that Sir John would really love. But it's some modern piece of art with black things, because they got to black it all out. Usually when you have type stuff, it's just real easy with the bar. So it's not that big of a deal. And guys, while you're here, go ahead and drop in city and country where you're coming in from. We love to see where everyone's coming in from. Drop the comments below. Did you like something? Did you not like it? Did you agree with it? Did you disagree with it? You're not going to agree with everything that Jeff and I say. I mean, we don't expect it to, but also while you're here, why don't you go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe, click that notification bell. That way you know anytime we drop a link. And so here we have Stuart Alderoty. He said, so let me get this straight. Chair Gensler, Gary Gensler, Daddy G, isn't an attorney, isn't a lawyer, but he once visited a law library. And I love this. This is what you call master level trolling by Stuart Alderoty, better known as general counsel for Ripple. But I just absolutely love this. And because what is that all about? Well, James Filan says, well, yeah, apparently gives him one of these emojis and then one of these face plant emojis. And so what he's talking about here is that Gensler prepared some remarks for the crypto markets at Penn Law Capital Markets Association's annual conference. And this is how he started. Let me do it in my best Gary voice. Thank you. It's great to be with you at this event, particularly at the University of Pennsylvania, my alma mater. I was over at Wharton, and I knew of what I knew of the law school was that the library stacks were a great place to study. It was so quiet there. I don't know if it's still the case. So this is what Stuart Alderoty's kind of trolling Gensler on, is the fact that, okay, so you studied in there. That's about all you know about being an attorney. It was a great place. And we're not going to go through this whole thing because, well, first of all, it's much too boring. But let's just take a look at some of the other little things that go down in this little piece here. It's so funny if you read like the first sentence, it gives you the flavor of Gensler. It's customary to note my views are my own. Now, I'm not speaking on behalf of the commission or the SEC staff. Then why the hell would we invite you, Gary? Nobody cares about your personal opinions. We don't care what your favorite TV show, your favorite ice cream, your favorite color is, but that's okay. I know. You got to always put the disclaimer in there. This is what they have to do. Today, you've invited me to talk about the roughly 2 trillion crypto markets. In February, you might have noticed Super Bowl ads for crypto platforms. Seeing these ads reminding me that the lead up to the financial crisis, subprime lender Ameriquest advertising the Super Bowl. Again, this reminded him, the Super Bowl ads that had crypto in it reminded him of the meltdown because another company had advertised in the Super Bowl. This is how disconnected from the real world that Gary Gensler is. He's absolutely, completely out of his mind. Ads thus don't equal credibility. The SEC's remit is overseeing capital markets on our 3-part mission: prosecuting, destroying, and obliterating investors. That doesn't say that. It says protecting investors, facilitating capital formation, and then maintaining a fair, orderly, and efficient markets. That's what he always says, but we know that that's not true. There's also no reason to treat the crypto market differently just because technology is used. We should be technology neutral. Okay, whatever you say, Gary. So I like to mention the areas related to SEC's work in this area. First, crypto trading and lending platforms, where they call themselves centralized or decentralized. So now he's coming after the platforms. Further, the platforms are like trading security or likely trading securities. Well, geez, Gary, which securities would they be trading? Do you have any idea? No, not going to speak on that. So that's pointless. I've been asked to work on a number of projects related to the platforms. U.S. has a greater capital market, in my view. Some ask, second, blah, 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 blah. It's more of the same. You've heard it all before. He's going to go into tokens. He even said this before. My predecessor, Jay Clayton, said it. I'll reiterate it without prejudging any one token. Most crypto tokens are investment contracts under the Howie's house. Well, good luck, Gary, because you're going to have to go prove that. That's right. Let's jump on the next one here. Next story coming up. So this one we have from Ron Hammond. Now, you guys know Ron Hammond from a couple different places, but I'll go ahead and tell you the last two things on his resume. Now, before Ron Hammond joined up at the Blockchain Association and joined the Blockchain Association, he worked for Ripple. That's right. He worked on behalf of Ripple as a lobbyist. And before that, he worked in Warren Davidson's office. And what did he do? Well, he's the author of the Token Taxonomy Act along with Warren Davidson and Darren Soto. So he was one of the chief people behind that. A lot of people don't know that, but I thought I would just throw that out there. But yeah, so he from Warren Davidson's office to Ripple's office to then the Blockchain Association. That's the last 3 things he did. He puts out, he was commenting on Hannah Lang's tweet. And Hannah Lang, who is she? Well, she is none other than, she covers fintech and crypto for Reuters. She's a reporter. She said Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen set to give a speech on digital assets. Oh, yay. On Thursday will be live streamed here. And she gives where it's going to be live streamed. So I don't know. What is Secretary Janet Yellen going to say about digital assets? Who knows? I mean, does anybody care? Probably not. We'll have to wait and see. In addition to the speech, Ron Hammond says on Thursday, Secretary Yellen will be testifying in front of the House Financial Services Committee tomorrow. And that is, there's a number of people we know. Warren Davidson does head that up as well. Crypto will certainly come up in the hearing. Of course it will. Of course it'll come up in the hearing. It's bound to. So I say, well, since we all know she's given a speech on it. Moving right along, this is a pretty interesting story. And so one of Australia's largest convenience stores, OTR, to accept crypto payments. OTR will reportedly become Australia's largest bricks and mortar retailer. Can you imagine that? The largest Australian brick and mortar to accept digital assets as a means of payments. OTR better, it's also known as On the Run. It's an Australian convenience store with international locations, not just in Australia. Will reportedly allow clients to pay for product in cryptocurrencies by partnering the digital asset exchange Crypto.com. And I'm guessing since Crypto.com has XRP, offers XRP, they're probably going to accept XRP. It will enable customers to pay for fuel, goods, and services at digital currencies at 170 company locations in South Australia. Not long ago, the convenience store stretched its operations to Victoria. However, it remains unknown whether those will allow payments in crypto. So, you like stop in, get some fuel, you're fueling it up. You know how it works. You set up you're putting petrol in the car, gas, you sit there, you flip it on auto. You're like, geez, kind of hungry. I might just venture inside and see what I can find. You can get some peanuts, grab some chips. The next thing you know, you're walking out with a couple things, spend 10 or 12 bucks in there. You have nothing in your hands, but now you're going to be able to do it with crypto. How cool is that? And eventually everybody will accept it. So you won't need the middle man. You won't need the off ramps anymore, because that's where we're headed with this. It's like, well, yeah, that's great. If On the Run offers it, but what if everyone offers it? You don't need fiat anymore. That is where we're heading. That's the real fun. That's when the real fun kicks in. Let me go over here in the chat and see what's going on in the chat. Let me see what anybody's up to in here. Look at Cleveland's in the house. Cleveland is in the house, people. Just wanted to make sure everyone knew that. OTR will be a new entrant. That's right. Matt LaRoche. Alchemist says Cold Rock JPEGs for 100K. And next story up here on the hit list is this one here. This one was from Tran. He says, yeah, we're working with Ripple. And you're like, okay, can you give me a little more? It's like, I love the tweet. It's like, yeah, and yes, we're working with Ripple. And I try to figure out what that was all about. He is the CEO of the Vemanti Group. And I'm like, well, what do they do? Well, advancing financial inclusion through innovation and technology. Now, maybe they could have fit 6 or 7 more buzzwords in there. Advancing financial inclusion through innovation and technology, an SEC fully reporting company. They're based out of Irvine, California. And so I thought that their SEC, they report to the SEC because, you got to go in there and talk to them every now and again. And if we look at this in the Vemanti Group here, we've got, we believe in access to financial services is key for economic development. This is all great. Sounds really good. I have no clue what they do yet. Let me see. Everything we do is about advancing financial inclusion. I'm starting to get the idea that it might have something to do with financial inclusion, although I can't be certain. We're dedicated to serving the underbanked and unbanked. Okay, great. I'm starting to see. I'm starting to put together something. Our focus, lending, and payment applications. There we go. They wait to the fourth one to get to it, which is lending and payment. And then finally, what's the last one? We work with SME-focused projects and opportunities. That's small to medium enterprise companies. And their strategy and their advantage looks like a lot of reading there. I'm not going to read all that. We execute through socially impact-driven projects. We drive growth by, I don't know what they do. Apparently, they're doing something interesting. They invest in blockchain, telecommunications, fintech, e-commerce, artificial intelligence, internet things, and more. Great. There's your team. Mark Crone, Ernesto Bautista, Ashley Mann. And who else do we have in here? Oh, what are we missing here, man? Let's see. What do we talk about here? Yeah, that's I don't know. There you go. CEO. I didn't see that. Do we see him there? I don't know. Do we see him? There he is. There he is. Tran. Say that 3 times fast. And it's moving right along. So this is their white paper right here. And I was kind of going through it. I thought I would read it, but then I started looking at it, and you can just see I haven't stopped on the charts because it seemed like a lot of reading. I was like, oh, there's an interesting chart. Everything's trending down. You have Brazil through Paraguay. Okay. There's a map that looks interesting. There's a yield curve. Yep. This is interesting. Some more charts and graphs. Look at this thing. My gosh. I wanted an overview, and I guess I stopped on this one here because this is the network they have. And again, that looks complicated, so we're not going to get into that. I wanted to pull this up. This is Elon Musk's Twitter investment. Now, if you guys don't know, Elon Musk invested $3 billion in Twitter. He is the largest shareholder, and they're getting a little nervous over there at the Twitter. So I'm not going to lie to you. One of the board members said he should not be allowed to own more than 14%. Getting a little nervous over there at the Twitter's headquarters. Late disclosure of stake could affect Tesla's CEO's continuing legal skirmish with the SEC. So he goes and makes an investment, and now because of the late disclosure, I guess he just recently disclosed, now he's probably going to be in some hot water with the SEC. Elon Musk is no stranger to getting in trouble with the SEC, and I think he gives 0 Fs. So I don't think there's any concern there. One of the reasons I love Elon Musk because he does his own thing. He's driven by his own internal compass, and he doesn't really care or swayed by outside things that are going on. So since it's a Wall Street Journal article, we can't read it, but it set the stage with a new fight with the SEC, this time on how he disclosed his investment in Twitter that made him the company's largest investor. I think he announced it on Twitter. Tesla chief discloses 9.2% holdings in a form investors are required to file when they buy more than 5% of a company's stock without planning to seek control. But the notice came several days late. Wah, wah, wah. Who cares? Elon Musk is going to do his thing. Now, the best part of this is great. I just love this because the best part of this is you got Parag Agrawal, he took over for Jack Dorsey as the CEO. And this right here is when you have to grin and bear it, because what they're trying to do is just destroy everything on Twitter, trying to get rid of it all. And, Parag, when he basically, he became the CEO when Dorsey stepped down a couple months ago, but he's on camera, video talking about how he wants to ban more people and they really should set the tone and all this dark garbage. But he had to say, because he has no choice. I mean, he just got the largest shareholder. So he said, I'm excited to share that we're appointing Elon Musk to our board, ! Through conversations with Elon in recent weeks, it became clear to us that he would bring great value to our brand, or to our board, I should say. Now, would that be the same kind of value of when he tweeted really recently that is Twitter? The Twitter's like the de facto town square, and it should be open to free and open dialogue without censorship. And then he tweeted after that, should there be another platform? And then not too long after that, we find out he owns a 9% stake. Of course, Elon, being the consummate professional he is, says looking forward to working with Parag and Twitter board to make significant improvements to Twitter in coming months. So, he's going to, I have no doubt he's going to make it better. And we've all been asking for an edit button. So where's that edit button? Now, one of the things on your top of your list. Also, too, you could reinstate some of the people that got deplatformed who turned out they were right. Just saying. As we move right along here, we've got this one here. And this is from Eleanor Terrett. As you guys know, she's a producer and journalist, and she works with Charlie Gasparino from the Fox News Network. She said the UK is open for business and open for crypto businesses. Hey, SEC, where you at? I love this. Now she's calling them out. And there's this article here about Britain announces plans. Look at this right here. Britain announces plans to mint its own NFT as it looks to lead the way in crypto. That says a lot. UK Finance Minister Rishi Sunak asked the Royal Mint to create and issue the NFT by the summer. Let's see, by summer's coming up. I think it's in June. So it's not giving them a lot of time. It's not like the executive order. You know how that executive order worked? You got 6 months or I don't know, maybe a year to come up with a plan. We'll review said plan. But this is like, hey, you got till summer. Okay. I want it done before summer. Summer's coming up. Can you get that done? And City Minister John Glenn announced a number of steps the UK will take to bring these digital assets under more regulatory scrutiny. Says the government wants Britain to lead the way in crypto. Absolutely. Because you know who's not leading the way? You guessed it. US of A just completely destroyed, as Jeff would say, tripping over their own shoelaces. Hey, because somebody tied them together. Let's see. NFTs are digital assets represent ownership in a virtual item like artwork or a video game. The UK's NFT initiative, part of a broader effort by the government to lead the way in crypto. Minister announced a number of steps. So they're going to bring stable coins within the UK's existing regulations on electronic payments. Good. Check. They're going to consult a world-leading regime for regulating trade in other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. It should have been Bitcoin, including all the other alts, but this time they said, well, it does include Bitcoin too, in case you were worried. Ask the law commissioner to consider the legal status of blockchain-based communities, known as decentralized autonomous organizations, or we call them DAOs. Examine tax treatment of decentralized finance, establish a crypto asset engagement group, explore the application of blockchain tech as an issuing debt instruments. We shouldn't be thinking of regulation as static, rigid thing, Glenn said, but instead we should be thinking in terms of regulatory code like computer code, which we refine and we rewrite as we need to. And this is kind of like, this is a better formula. Unlike Gary Gensler at the SEC, who is the pillar of enforcement, and he's going to protect you. How secure do you feel? Not very. And as we go down the line here, I saw this one from Mr. B. And as you guys know or don't know, Jeff and I have a running bet with Mr. B along with Alex, and that's coining 203. The bet is they're saying that the SEC suit will essentially settle. And Jeff and I are saying, no, it won't settle because it would have settled already. It won't settle, but it'll either summary judgment or it goes the distance. That's kind of where we're at this moment in time. And so he says, yesterday's Elon Musk did a poll on how many people want a Twitter edit button. It would be easier to do a poll on people that don't want an edit button, which is probably nobody. Because when you're on Twitter, it doesn't matter if you're on Twitter. You could be writing an email. You write the email, you look at it 6 times, you hit the send button, you tweet it, and you're like, oh God, did I just do that? And you had a word was wrong, or for some reason you don't see it until you hit the button. Now, if you pay for Twitter Blue, you can set a timer. So when you hit send, you can sit there and stare at it and realize, oh yeah, that's wrong, and you can undo it. But you can only set a timer from I think a half a minute up to a minute to be able to do that. So he says, let's show him how many people want an XRP emoji. Now, a lot of people probably don't know this, but XRP emojis can be purchased. They're a little over $1 million. That's right. Just go to the marketing page on Twitter there. Talks about brands' usage of emojis. And I don't know, is he going to reach in his pocket and pull out $1 million for that? Maybe. I don't know. Here's an article too. Is Twitter's 1 million price tag for branded emojis worth it? I mean, for the community, the XRP community, we probably say, well, hell yeah, it's worth it. We want one. How can we not have a branded XRP? And I'm thinking, not enough people around the XRP community. We take up a special collection for this because Mr. B, he wants Elon Musk to kick in $1 million. He's like, look, man, you just paid $3 billion for a 9% stake in Twitter. Let's reach in another back pocket, pull out $1 million, give us our XRP emoji. I'm not lying. I wouldn't mind seeing it myself, but I'm just saying that it cost $1 million. And you probably these days, you probably could barter a little bit and say, wow, I'll give you 900,000. I don't know if they would do it or not, but anytime you see these emojis, they're bought and paid for. Okay. It's not like, some crypto. There's a couple crypto projects out there that have these brand emojis. And you're like, well, why did they get one? XRP didn't. Because they shelled out $1 million. That's how they ended up getting theirs. Pretty simple. Doesn't take a lot. And then this one right here, I talked a little bit about this, and I said, look, you take your XRP riches and you just splurge a little bit. And I love this from Christian. He's at Expat XRP1. He said, all the money I've made with XRP, I decided to splurge and get a pool and a deck. And check this out. There it is right there, a pool and a deck. Better known as 2 pallets with a kid's pool and a plastic chair. But there it is, because that's the profits. That's what he's making. That was pretty good. I like that. And then we have this one here, XRP Standard Productions. You guys know this is a parody site, a very good one. And wait a minute, I should have put that. Did I put that large enough? Yeah, you guys can see that. Okay, so then this one here, let's make this a little bit bigger, shall we? That's the wrong button. And he said, wow, I never thought you would just come out and say it. Of course, this is not a real tweet from Secretary Janet Yellen, but suppose it was a real tweet from Secretary Janet Yellen. It says, I cannot wait to talk to the nation about XRP and the new crypto economy tomorrow. And that's because she's going to be speaking before the hearing. She cannot wait to talk about it. I think this is phenomenal. It's good stuff all the way around. Here we are. What are we doing here? Let's see. I can hear. I'm looking inside here. Hey, what's going on, Ani? How are you doing? Good to see you. Moneybags, not Bob. What's up, everybody? Hello to up there in Iceland. Oscar, how are you? Good to see everybody here. Listen, guys, I always say that, we really appreciate you guys coming in here and being in the stream and hanging out with us and having just a really fun time as best as we can do it. And Jeff and I always say, you're the smartest people in crypto. It might be a minority, but that's okay because you are the smartest ones. Now, tomorrow night, Jeff and I will be back for a live stream together. He will be here. We will be live streaming, and it will be slightly longer than this one. But again, we are experimenting. We are trying some new things, seeing where we can get some traction. Again, we appreciate you guys being here, and I am out of here. Jeff and I will see you on the next one. Have a great night, everybody. Chip out.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.